right, everything is up and running. Screen is recording, audio is recording, everything's working. Audio levels are optimal. Yes. And everything seems up and running. Hey, everyone. Good morning. It's a beautiful Friday, December. This is the Virtualaw Tech Talk. This is the last one of the year. And I have really big news today. Going to wait for a few participants and get the show on the road. I will be sharing this recording with the new online community that I will be unveiling today. First of all, strong coffee is required as part of the source code programming. That is a private blend a friend of mine grows in the Turrialba area of Costa Rica. I am a fan of their coffee because it has both fruity and floral notes. Speaking of notes, let me start gathering all the info over here and start sharing all the screens. I want to thank everyone for watching this. This is the last Tech Talk of the year. Virtualaw is officially 1 year old as it started December of last year unofficially, although there were other housekeeping items that were handled before that. If everything works out, this should be an exciting Tech Talk. And I encourage participation. So if you're watching the replay, leave a comment below. I am usually connected to the interwebs, and I have an army of robots that handle all the moderations for me when I am not mentally connected to the interwebs. I want to share a few online tools that I've been trying out, and the next Tech Talk will most likely be live streamed instead of privately Google Meeted. This is probably the last Google Meet that I will be holding, and I'm going to wait a few minutes for everyone to join in. Starting to see a few comments on the chat. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Today's Tech Talk would be primarily about sharing the new Virtualaw online community called the Nexus. The Nexus is our own private social media, and I'm very happy because other social media platforms are a time drag. And this way, we can share information without any sort of encumbrances. And I will be also talking a little bit about a hot topic on the interwebs this week. I was approached on TextExpander and how I am a TextExpander power user. TextExpander is an application that expands based on a set of abbreviations or snippets. And I use it for pretty much everything. I am a power user, and I save days on end by pre-canning all of the text that goes into my email replies, SMS, text message replies, and all sorts of legal draftings, including letters, motions, filings, engagement letters, invoices, line items, and everything else. But I'm not going to delve too deeply on my TextExpander. That'll be the topic for the next one. I will be hinting at it because today's Tech Talk is all about the Nexus. Let me start screencasting over here, checking to see that everything is up and running. No elevator music while we wait. And as we set our gears in motion as an immigration practitioner, that I am starting to branch out my practice into helping US citizens and Canadian citizens relocate to Latin America, which instead of immigration is immigration, outbound migration from the US and Canada. Because I'll say the because very briefly. I am very frustrated with the US immigration system, and I think it's time to divest. As I relocated to Costa Rica in 2021, and I am very happy that I did. Okay, let me pull up the Nexus, and here goes the screen share. Now, drum roll, please. This is officially the Virtualaw Nexus. Now, I've been a social media user since 2004. If you can consider ICQ or any other IM or BBS as back in the 90s, social media, then the whole purpose of Web 2.0 was to share information online with other members of the community and connect everyone. In ye olden days, it used to be email listservs, and those were cool, but did not provide a suitable platform for sharing multimedia, right? Pictures and videos and webcasts and lives. I took it upon myself to set up the Nexus, and that is virtua.law/Nexus. And this is a private forum to share information on different groups that you can join based on your interest of each topic. And the topics of these forums I have creatively named based on the interest that virtual law has on developing legal tech and AI enhanced tools for attorneys and law firms. First one is called Automation Nation, and the main focus of it is automating processes such as billing, intake, document requests, and all the like. And the rest are experimental focuses like legal AI, which we will be discussing all the latest AI enhanced legal tools, as I am both a developer and a tester for everything AI and legal. All sorts of prompt engineering, which is one of my specialties, developing specific instructions for AI tools to fire off those beautiful automations that allow me to clone my intellect as best as I can. After that, it is Dr. Frank's Robot Lab because I consider myself a mad scientist and all the experiments I want to share on this platform. Now, this platform is available for attorneys and support staff only. We will be filtering extensively for now because of the general acceptance of AI and legal technology by the general public. I want to limit the focus, discussion, perception, and judgment of these tools only to the legal community for now. If everything goes as planned and everything works, as acceptance of these tools is adopted by the general public, and as jurisdictions establish their guidelines to use these tools, then we will be sharing this with the general public in a more particular way. But for now, let's keep it to ourselves because this is emerging technology, and all emerging technology seems scary at first because no one knows what they do or how they do it. And because I don't want to scare off any prospective clients who might see this as some way of cutting corners. Little do people know that financial planners, trading brokerages, insurance companies, medical companies, and all sorts of other insurance companies have been using AI for many years now, but they haven't made it public. Now that AI is in the public spotlight, then the perception of it makes all the news. Because everyone loves it when attorneys screw up, I want to keep this private for now, so I am sharing this with the Virtual Law Tech Talk community and the newsletter at first, and then I will be sharing it with everyone else as it picks up speed and notoriety. Then there is a group called Help Wanted. If you have any legal tech or AI related project or need help developing any legal tech or AI tools, feel free to ask for help from other members. There will be group moderators, there will be group experts, but for now it is just me because this is the first day and that I am sharing these news with everyone as part of the Tech Talk newsletter. After that, it is practice oriented, it is practice focused. We have criminal law, estate planning, family law, immigration, intellectual property, personal injury, and virtual practices. Because I am a strong participant in the Lawyers on the Beach group on Facebook, because I practice remotely from Costa Rica, thanks to the legal technology and tools that I have developed that allow me to be in more than one place at one time. And because teleportation isn't a thing yet, I spend a lot of time developing ideas on how to practice remotely because I got into the legal practice to be able to free myself to do much other funner things than picking fights with strangers online. And that is another thing that I wanted to touch bases on. And that is that I want to divest as much attention as I can from traditional social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and the like, because they are sponsored. And first of all, because your data is mined. Facebook has already admitted that they record conversations and they use that data for tracking. They read your Facebook Messenger messages, they read your WhatsApp, and they track how much time you spend on every single post. The Nexus will not be tracking any sort of data besides your email, which I promise not to sell to anyone. There is no other purpose. And if at some point we decide to bring in sponsors, they will be conditioned to offering sponsorship exclusively. And data mining will not be a thing. I want this data to be here. It is stored on our own hosted servers, and it is only the moderators and the administrators, which is me for now. And I know I can't be online 24/7. And as this community grows, I will need to delegate eventually. But the rules of this are strict. This data that you share with us we are stewards of this data as we should be. And we will not be sharing this with any sort of corporate sponsors. At most, they will be able to share information on the Nexus and collaborate, which is what we want. We want to promote engagement of the legal community, and that does include legal technology service providers. And I will be reaching out to them eventually. But for now, it's just us. And as we grow, I will be very happy to condition significantly what they can do and how they can do it. Now, there is a general board. It has a kind of feeling as most online boards go. It does have information on different groups. We can create spaces for each one. There is one for the Tech Talk where all the previous Tech Talks will be shared, and that way you can watch the previews, which before that required sharing on each social media platform, which was also a time drag. So this way we can centralize the distribution of information and keep everything in one spot without having to be subject on the arbitrary rules that large companies that have large IPOs and are traded on the stock market. And it would be wonderful to trade Virtualaw stock on the stock market eventually. But for now, it is a small cottage-like industry that is with the intention of creating awareness that these tools are out there and available for large and small firms alike, and that huge 8-figure budgets are not required to play the big boys and the big girls. Like I said, there were several groups. We will be running webinars and demos. This platform on our website also includes a learning management system, much like school, and we will be hosting online webinars and courses where you can learn and build your legal automation technology from the ground up. I understand that all of this is brand spanking new, and it's always being A and B tested. And that's what I love to do. I love poking the system to see how it works, and then creatively imagining all the options that it allows us legal practitioners to do. And I say legal practitioners because not everyone is an attorney. I understand that there is a divide between form preparers and attorneys and notaries and all that. But for now, if you went to law school and you are admitted to practice law anywhere, this is exactly who it's being tailored for, which is also another reason why I don't host lives on other social media platforms for now. And although I do have all sorts of live streaming softwares, I like to keep this small and intimate to be able to engage with our viewership. And as you can see, there are no members, and we will be fixing this. There is a robot for now, and that's the main admin. And the main admin is another flavor of one of my different hats. And the more you participate in this online community, you will earn badges for participation as you work your way up from novice to navigator. These are point-based, so the more you participate, the higher your ranking. This is a way to gamify our participation, and I think it's super cool. Also, there's a nifty dark mode if you like reading in the dark after midnight, like myself. There is a search where you can search for posts. If you lose something, the search is intuitive. And that way you can look for information See that more people are watching. That is awesome. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the chat below. Let's see. We switch windows over here. And notifications. There's a notification bell. Of course, there is. The whole internet works on notifications, because if you don't know it happened, then you will never find out it happened. And the most awesome part is there is a chat for each group. Right now, there is a Tech Talk chat where we can share links and post immediate questions on whatever legal topic you decide to pigeonhole as part of these. These are moderated by myself and my army of legal tech robots. And I will be sharing all sorts of multimedia here, links, relevant links. Someone asked the other day what remote postal solutions I use because I practice remotely. Yeah, all the links are here. I have a collection of ChatGPT prompts for attorneys. It is pretty long, so if you want to go over it, that was the topic of our previous November Tech Talk, and I will be posting that replay and hosting more frequently these Tech Talks. I would love to ramp these up to once a week, but given the current immigration policy, that seems unlikely, because I am most likely going to be very busy dealing with the government's shenanigans. There are all sorts of prompts like ChatGPT social media, and these are all on the feed. But if you can see here, these are posted in a particular group, Legal AI, and this is where everything AI and ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini focused, because these are focused on topics. There are cheat sheets, which are awesome. As I curate these over the internet, I will be sharing these. These allow you to structure and build prompts based on what you want the end result to do. Everyone seems to think that you ask ChatGPT like a magic genie produces whatever you want, but the better you structure these prompts, the better it is, the better the result is. Excuse me. And as we progress, there is no content for now, because this is brand spanking new. The Nexus has been up for less than 2 weeks now. And as soon as this Tech Talk has concluded, I will be sharing how to join this exclusive community. I will be filtering all those requests. Everyone will have their own profile, and you can custom tailor your profile as you wish. Recent activities, much like other social media platforms, are here, but without the spam, the fluff, the drama, the algorithms that mine your data and interconnect who you hang out with and listen to you and your music as you play it. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I would love to hear comments and suggestions on this. This is an online community open for attorneys and legal practitioners. So your input will make it into the suggestions eventually. Thanks for that, Brenda. Your input is essential to this. A single person community is an informational island. And as I develop other automations for law firms, currently Virtualaw offers legal tech and automation consultancy. And as we share these tools with everyone, and as law firms and practitioners hire our services to automate and streamline their practices, we will be sharing, without going into particular details, what we do with the data that they provide and how we build automation tools for the law firms. Like using different off-the-shelf tools pre-existing, because everyone seems to be hopping on the AI bandwagon and adding AI to their pre-existing products and services, but they're not all created equal. Some are very good, some are crappy, and I want to fluff the chaff from the grain as best as I can by trying those out. And law firms already have their own processes in place. What I do at Virtualaw is I analyze their current standard operating procedures and then see how to make them better. Imagine your law firm as a very large train made of interconnected box cars, right? Each one your law practice management software. That might also be your CRM, or if you have another CRM, you have an email marketing platform, you have an intake form, you have a document preparation platform such as eSerenade or DocketWise, or any of the other practice management, practice generation, document generation softwares, such as Wealth Counsel. And they're all out there and not interconnected. What we do at Virtualaw is we take each one of those stars and create a constellation. We connect the dots between all of those to reduce human interaction between each one, which allows us to reduce errors between each one, because when you complete your online form on your website, it propagates the data through the CRM, through the law practice management software, to the email marketing software. And as that cascade goes interconnecting all of those unconnected dots, the amount of human interaction between each of those steps is reduced, because you don't have to copy paste. You don't have to manually take the written form that your client filled out in your waiting room at your office, because once you input it once, it is propagated down the whole train. And instead of being the conductor of the train, you oversee the entire railroad system and pull the levers with your human interaction, or delegate to your team members which levers they pull as the data flows from intake and onboarding, through invoicing and time and bookkeeping, down through document preparation and document generation, and even through social media content creation. All of those steps are integrated in a concatenation, or a streamlined processes that I developed for my own law firm. Through now, I'm coming through 19 years of law practice, and I have been fixing and streamlining systems for law firms since 1998. And I have seen other law firms conduct these processes, since there is some measure of tech resistance from law firms, because we have to be very careful, because we're subject to judiciary and jurisdictional guidelines. We have to be careful how our data is managed. But there are other industries. The first industry I got this from was, I owned a pizza shop for 2 years, and you would input the order and a little receipt would be printed back in the kitchen, instead of me having to take the receipt and make the order. Now, that receipt could very well be a motion. If I input the information on the CRM, I want the document, the end result document, either uploaded, filed, or the draft generated without my interaction, which improves my efficiency, reduces the amount of errors that might be generated between one platform to the other, because even if you copy paste, you might push the wrong button. And if there's a mistake, it would be ideal to be able to correct it at the beginning of the input sequence. And because now APIs and Zapier and Make and AppyPie and a lot of applications are already interconnected between each one. For example, I use PracticePanther for law practice management. I use DocketWise to generate immigration applications. There is a native connection between both of them, and all the information I input on one of them is propagated to the other instantly without additional connections. And for me, that was a huge time saver, and it was wonderful because I didn't have to go enter into each one and entry the data twice. And I don't have to delegate it to someone. My staff can work more efficiently by not having to duplicate all the information that is already part of the system. And when the client ingresses their information, it is propagated into law practice management, email marketing, billing, and document generation software instantly without my interaction. And that makes me very happy, because I can focus on serving my clients better. I can lawyer much better, because the information is both propagated and handled without issues. And I reduce the amount of errors, because the human element and its fallibility are significantly reduced, because it's simply a mirror image of all the info and the data that is gathered as part of my data management at my law firm. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I will be sharing the replay of this Tech Talk. And because it is the Christmas season, I want to wish everyone a wonderful holiday season. Whatever it is you like to celebrate, I hope you have a wonderful end of year. And I'll see everyone next year. See you out on the interwebs. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful year's end.